Have you ever wondered if you can complete Resident Evil 4 using only the Matilda? In this video, I will be going over my attempted playthrough using only the Matilda. The reason I chose a Matilda for this attempted playthrough is because I love the idea of the 3-round bursts on the handgun, making it essentially a submachine gun or a baby TMP if I'm able to conserve enough ammo. It also has close to the least amount of firepower amongst all the pistols, so I'll be starting off very weak in the early game. The biggest challenge of this playthrough will be making it through the tougher sections in the early game, and I'll become an unstoppable force later if I can make it to the end. And there are a lot of early to mid-game segments that are challenging with a lot of enemies, where clearly the game was designed to have more than just a handgun. So the rules for this playthrough are handgun and knife only. No knife to finish enemies. Kicks are allowed, because doing the playthrough without kicks seems impossible to me, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and I use the trainer to spawn in the Matilda right away. While investigating the village for clues on Ashley's whereabouts, we get sneak attacked by a Ganado, which provides us the perfect opportunity to showcase our secondary firearm this playthrough. After finding himself unhappy with Leon's neck realignment services, he comes back for a refund, but that's okay. We dodge him, go around him, and jump out this window. I grab every bit of ammo I can on my way to the village. Here I decide I have to run past all the enemies in order to conserve ammo, then I fumble my way into a bear trap. I run past this guy, deciding that I want to save the ammo, but I'm indecisive, so I turn back because I know there's a red herb in there. As I approach the village, I'm really not too sure what my strategy is going to be, as I have very limited firepower. Good old Dr. Salvador shows up, and I loot the house, put the shelf in the way, even though it doesn't buy very much time, if any. I take a second to look at the shotgun, and mourn the fact that I won't be using it this playthrough. After a few close calls, and kicking a bunch of Ganados, the bell finally rings. I scavenge everything that's left and then I proceed to the next area. So I've got a decent stockpile of ammo because I've been playing pretty evasively. Running around past the enemies and looting. Then I get 3-hit combo going from full HP to 0 in the name of the Velvet Crystal. And once I push this wagon out of the way and step through the doorway, the Ganados realize that there's another game of bingo coming up and they gotta get back to that real quick. So I continue breaking crates, fumbling into bear traps, and evading enemies until eventually I find Luis. And then the big cheese sends us into the next chapter of the game. So right here I have no Matilda, only knife, which means no fighting enemies at all. Just run past them easily enough and grab the Matilda. And we're back in business. Then I go ahead and kick this old lady and double tap her just to be safe. And now I'm on to the next challenging part of the game, since every other Ganado has dynamite in their hand, which is very dangerous to human health. Dynamite is not good for... dynamite explosions are not good for your health. Regardless of how much dynamite they have, I'm able to grab the key items and open the gate and make my way out. Then I interrupt a Ganado on the toilet, do a little puzzle solving, and then finish up the chapter with a taste of my own medicine. Mr. Big Cheese kicked me so hard I decided I needed to go to church, but they weren't very welcoming either. So I took the shovel hit like a champion and I continued trudging along, but this is where I made my first fatal mistake. Now you can decide if this voids the run or not, but I'll let you see. Yes, I did stab the snake there. I swear it was not intentional. It was pure instinct. It just came over me. Then I get cornered in the snake room, so I had to start kicking them back. And I run into another dead end, so I had to turn around quickly and start dispatching them. No issue though, I have lots of ammo. And I make my way alongside the quarry, where I then find a lot of birds that I cannot do anything about because I cannot use grenades in this run. And a dog. And another dog. Right here, I'm not killing any enemies. I'm not stopping to fight any of them unless I'm forced to. I do take a beating in the process, but that's been pretty regular so far this run, so I'm kind of used to it at this point. After getting shot with a crossbow, I make my way inside the building where the gas can is, and then I get cornered because I haven't killed any enemies. So I'm forced to do some kicking. And then I make my way out just like I came in, except for this time I'm stopping to shoot snakes to make up for the fact that I stabbed a snake earlier. So sorry about that. After filling up the boat, I'm on my way to fight Del Lago with a Matilda, not harpoons. We are using the Matilda here, don't worry about it. I leave Del Lago looking like a porcupine, throw up, and take a nap in the boat. I end up using a ton of ammo in this cave section where you have to grab the heads for the church key. I mean, look at this. It takes 8 shots for me to kill this parasite, and I think I land every one here. So that's 8 shots on top of just killing the normal Ganado. Needless to say, I'm pretty scarce on ammo after this encounter. The game's director wasn't giving me any ammo at this point, and I had saved up a bunch of small resources, they're called, and gunpowder for this scenario. The game's director is supposed to be aware of when you don't have ammo in your inventory. It should be lenient and give you some, but it wasn't giving me any. So I used my resources to craft ammo because I knew El Gigante was right around the corner. And there's El Gigante right around the corner. I had used all of my resources, looted everything, conserved as much ammo as I could, gone into the fight with 90 bullets. And check this out, at one point during the fight I have 0 bullets left. Thought I had to restart and be more accurate with my shots, but luckily I was able to find more ammo around the arena. With El Gigante dead, I find myself twisting these knobs for an embarrassingly long time until this gate opens, and then we find Ashley. Having Ashley on the team made my strategy of just running past enemies a lot harder since they would grab her quite a bit. After pretty much abandoning her, she catches up with me, and we find ourselves at the merchant. This part's a little difficult because there's a couple choke points here that you cannot really run past enemies. They force you to fight with them. But I ran past them anyway because I'm just good like that. Then Ashley gets grabbed again right here. Thankfully, the Ganado decides to take her my way, and I'm able to free her. Then I narrowly avoid becoming a tenderized meat sack. After dying quite a bit and saving Ashley quite a bit, I finally made it to the cabin. This part was surprisingly easy because Luis was just handing me ammo when it got kind of hairy for the ammo situation. Normally right here I'd have tons of grenades and just spam them. So yeah, I'm essentially just running around in circles, shooting Ganados in the face, and the big dude with the sledgehammer even takes care of some of them for me. So eventually Ashley decides we've had enough fun in the cabin. She says it's time to go. And then I find myself at the merchant with unfortunately nothing to really buy. All of my money is going to be going into the Matilda. I can sell everything, but like I said, there's nothing to really buy until later where I'm essentially just buying small resources that he's selling and upgrading the Matilda. And at this point, the Matilda's fully upgraded. This part was pretty fun. I tried to run past pretty much everybody, and Ashley decided to just kind of hang back. So she got grabbed while I was at the exit, so I had to go back for her. And that ruined my whole train of Ganados, so they all came following me back, and then I run past them. And then she got grabbed again, and then I went back for her. And then I'm pretty much just killing all the Ganados at that point because Ashley didn't want to stay next to me. And then I'm on my way to the chainsaw ladies. These two ladies are not optional. You cannot run past them. I tried to dispatch one of them, grab her crank, but the crank turning takes like 5 minutes. You put the crank in the door and you try to turn the crank, it takes maybe about a year. So the chainsaw lady throws a tantrum on the floor because we took her crank, and then I'm on my way to the big cheese. Thankfully, for whatever reason, the big cheese keeps a ton of boxes of ammo, you know, health items inside of his warehouse, even though none of the villagers have handguns or anything like that. They do stockpile handgun ammo for whenever they might need it, and I make use of that. And I end up with around like 100 bullets, the big cheese's name on it. And then I just pretty much, I let him have it. So my strategy for Mr. Cheese was to climb up the ladder and get a higher angle on his eyeball. Just kind of shoot his eyeball a whole ton. Until eventually he leaves his lower body behind and he decides to start throwing stuff at me. And this part is a bit easier because it's long range. I mean, all you have to do is dodge these little burning thingies that he throws. And he is down and out. With the cheese defeated, I'm now at the castle. The castle is going to be a bit more difficult because the Ganados upgrade from axes and knives to catapults and crossbows, also shields. This shield part really stumped me. I mean, I knew it was coming up, but even so, when I saw these two guys with shields, I just forgot how to play the game. I mean, it just turned my brain off. I really had no idea what to do here, so I just ran in circles around them while taking care of the other shieldless enemies. And eventually I figured out that they attack very slowly, so you can just run up in their face, and they essentially play more of a distracting, tanky role, you know? Just like if there were classes for Ganados, they would be the support slash tank. I found that the most reliable way to take care of them is either shooting the top part of their shield so it can reveal their head, and then you can give them a good old kick once you headshot them, or shooting one of the bottom corners of their shields and then kneecapping them. And while they're kneecapped, you can give them a good old kick. Next part is the Garrador. I thought this part was going to be harder. Really, I did take a couple of hits because I wasn't being patient with him. I wasn't giving him the time to throw his tantrum. But other than that, I just shot him 20 times in the back, and he almost killed me. But I didn't die once, so I felt like it was pretty easy. Next up is the water room. I mean, I knew it was coming up, but I didn't think it was coming up so soon. I forgot the exact order of events in the game. So I came across this, opened the door, and I was like, alright, I'm gonna take a break. I'll come back to this later. Alright, break time's over. Immediately, I open the door, right? I shoot these two dudes. Ashley's impressed, because I know they're gonna be pelleting me with crossbows. Come break the vase, get a grenade that I can't use. The grenade would come in handy here because the biggest thing about the water room is the dudes with shields, and that's just because the handgun it's not up for the task. So really the name of the game here is running in circles. Oh, never mind, Ashley got grabbed. They all follow me out into this room when Ashley gets grabbed, which they're not allowed to do. I didn't know they were allowed to do that. I feel like that's against the rules, but that's okay. Finally, after taking care of everybody on the main floor, I drop into the lower area. And I was not prepared for this, but pretty much every dude down here turns into a parasite. So I get the great idea of just turning the crank, leaving them, and they all follow me up. And it becomes a situation that is not manageable, and I get gobbled. So I retry again, but this time I take care of everyone on the lower floor before leaving. This part in theory is easy, all you have to do is shoot the enemies that are going for Ashley, but I was running out of ammo. Right here, if you don't have ammo, there's nothing you can do. There's no running away. Ashley gets grabbed and you have to restart. So I got pretty lucky. By the time she was finished, I had 0 ammo. Whew. And one of the hardest parts of the game is done and taken care of. There you have it. Here I'm shooting the fish, not stabbing the fish, because I learned my lesson from the Viper. I won't make that mistake again. And I get some body armor. I shoot El Gigante in the face with a cannon, and I'm now realizing my mistake, because a cannon is a weapon and it is not a Matilda, so I have broken my run, okay? I'm now just pretending to do a Matilda only run. To be fair, I didn't know that you could avoid shooting him. You can just run past him and just blow up the door. I researched it after the fact, but we let this one slide? What do you think? Okay, I get Ashley back. She's really sorry for cutting me with a knife, and I'm okay with it. And to reconcile, I decide to show her this beautiful garden. So my plan here was just to run past all the enemies as I have been, but I got really lost. I mean, it's not even that bad of a maze, but I was in that maze for like at least 10 minutes, just trying to find the last switch. Now I'm at the merchant again. I'm seeing that he's letting me upgrade the pistol even further. I'm getting excited for that exclusive upgrade that lets me get 60 ammo capacity. See, the thing with the ammo capacity is the more ammo you have in the magazine and the less ammo you have in your inventory, the game thinks you don't have any ammo. So it's essentially infinite ammo, but I'm not there yet. For now, I'm going to be killing rats and getting the medallions in this area for the Matilda stock that's coming up later. That allows for a 3-round burst, which in turn will make me unstoppable. So we do a bit of flirting with Ashley and have some dinner.
Well, yeah, but I'm not used to having such good company.
And then we move on to the knights. Now the knights are pretty easy. If this was the original, they are so tanky in that. It takes like 3 shotgun blasts to pop the armor off. But here they have the little parasites that are protruding. So I'm easily able to reveal the Plaga and then kill them. Unsurprisingly, if you add a second Garrador to the Garrador fight, it becomes a bit harder. Have you ever thought about why they give this Garrador armor and not the other one? I mean, was he like promoted or is he more valuable? Also, why do they bother giving him armor but leave his Plaga exposed? It just kind of defeats the point of the armor, unless I'm missing something. And that's those 2 Garradors taken care of. And now I'm off to see the wizard. I mean Salazar. I mean Verdugo. Look at all this beautiful ammo the game's giving me right here. Lovely. Oh, those are grenades. Oh, okay, there we go. So Verdugo, I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not try to fight this guy. I know for a fact you cannot kill him without a rocket launcher. I mean, you can try, but it takes all of your ammo, and that's with guns on a normal playthrough, so I just ran around in circles for about an hour until the elevator was ready, and yeah. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for.
I've got something new for you.
The Matilda stock. I have now power spiked,
capability.
and I am an unstoppable force for the rest of the game. I've also got the exclusive upgrade, which allows me to have 60 bullets in the magazine, which in turn will make the AI director think I have no ammo. As long as there's 60 bullets in mag, I'll pretty much have 0 ammo in my inventory, and I'll be getting ammo all game. I mean, just look at me go on these Dr. Salvador and Miss Dr. Salvadors. I am truly shredding everything at this point of the game. There's nothing that can stop me. Luis hops on his back, and then I continue shredding. With the shredding done, I get to this part of the game where I get to ride a roller coaster. And it just occurred to me that you get a magical red 9 here. It just shows up out of nowhere unless Luis gives it to you off screen somehow. Every playthrough I've done on this game, I've always had a red 9 in my inventory, so I just figured, you know, it was my red 9, but this one just shows up out of nowhere, and you have to kill enemies with it. And here's the Krauser fight. The Krauser fight is probably like my favorite fight in the game. The initial knife fight, because it feels like I'm playing a Souls game, you know? It's like a rhythm-based dodge, attack, but instead here, I won't be doing any attacking. Unless I'm kicking him. I won't be attacking him with a knife, only kicks. And Krauser gets the kicking memo and decides to kick me off of the ledge, but that's okay, I come right back. I must have kicked him at least like 30 times until eventually I blocked his attack and it triggered this cutscene. And then I get to move on to the Salazar fight. This is another fight I was dreading to encounter just because Salazar gives me such a hard time on every other playthrough, but I had the Matilda fully upgraded here, and he just croaks. I mean, he dies like right away. He barely even hit me here. So despite me saying that the fight was easy, I did run out of ammo here, but I mean, it wasn't a huge deal because I had 61 gunpowder and plenty of small parts, so I just dipped into that. I have been saving these just in case the game didn't want to give me any ammo, and this was the point where I ran out of resources, so that's where I started crafting ammo for him. Now that Salazar is done for, I find myself on the island, and I'm finally in a position where the game is just screwing me over. I mean, it is not happy with how well I've been performing, so it gives me pesetas on every kill I get. Every box I open is peseta. Okay, I get 10 bullets here. That's it, that's all it says. You're doing too good here, buddy. We're not gonna give you ammo. For this whole first section of the island. And then I find myself making the gamble of, okay, I have 10 bullets. Maybe I can kill this guy and he'll drop another 10 bullets. But he doesn't. He starts wriggling on the floor, wriggling like a wriggly worm. With that situation handled, I'm on to the next situation. If you thought I was running past every enemy, avoiding all fights, well these guys, I'm double running past them and avoiding all fights. I mean, check this freezer section out. I have never felt so weak in my entire life. And then here in the wrench room, one of the regenerators has a wrench in them. And I forgot which one, so I had a trial and error. I only had enough ammo to kill one of them. So I killed the wrong one like twice, and then I had to reload the game twice. Eventually I got the right one and I got the level 3 key card. Also check this part out. So in this part, Ashley has to open the door for you. And while you go through to unlock the other side door, it spawns more Ganados. So right here she gets grabbed. And I can see her in sight. The Ganado jumps through the window with her on his shoulder, which I did not know they could do, but he just teleports, like he no-clips to the exit, and I instantly lose the game. Or at least I'm convinced that's what happened there. And here's another part where the Matilda was not cutting it for me. I mean, I was like mag dumping this Regenerator, used all of my ammo on him. And then I realized he mutates, so I did not have enough ammo for him. So I changed my strategy up. And right here I think I got really lucky because I just ran past him with Ashley. And I think we just barely made it out in time. We both pulled the levers on the door and got out. The Krauser fight was like super easy. I just mag dumped him the whole time. I mean, I got hit like a million times on my way to the fight. You know, the little arena where he sets a bunch of booby traps, but the actual fight was like pew pew pew, and then he died. So this next part in the game, I died like a whole bunch. And partly because there is a lot of enemies here, and partly because I was just excited to get to the climax of the game, but mostly because there was a lot of enemies here. I mean, the devs are like, this is the final section of the game, let's just put as many enemies as the average Xbox or PC or PlayStation can handle. Like 200 enemies on screen at one time, please. So with that difficult section completed, Mike offers to take us for a drink to the bar, but he might have been drinking while driving because then he crashes the helicopter. And then I'm on to the Saddler fight. Saddler fight was pretty easy. I did not die one time, though there was one part where I got stuck on his leg. And the only way for me to get unstuck was to knife him, so I just had to forego that little moment where I could shoot his weak spot. Saddler gets exploded, and then I'm riding the jet ski. This is the first time I've been able to ride the jet ski and exit without taking any damage, which is an achievement that you can get. But yeah, that's the end of the run. It was pretty fun. It was pretty hard to start. I've done a handgun only challenge before in an attempt to get the minimalist achievement, and I had to quit at the El Gigante fight, but I guess with a little bit more strategy, I was able to get it done. And with the Matilda at least. My previous attempt was with the starting handgun, which has more firepower than the Matilda. And here are the stats. Thanks for watching. Something about seeing this view at the end of the Resident Evil 4 playthrough, and there's a similar one in Resident Evil 5 where Chris is on the helicopter. It's really accomplishing, and you know, it's a good feeling that this view invokes, and I like it. But yeah, here's the stats for the playthrough. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, give it a subscribe.